Hi, I'm Virginia. Welcome back for Virginia's psychological topics and meanderings through the meaning of life as we work together to figure things out inch by inch and bring about our greatest potential and bring out the greatest potential in each other. So tonight I'd like to talk about the law of attraction and why sometimes we find it doesn't work for us. What could be holding us back? I love the idea of visualizing where you'd like your life to be as if it is now. To see it so clearly and so crisply, I think this is a wonderful, wonderful tool to help you get to a much better place in your mind. And telling yourself positive affirmations every day to reinforce that thought is also great. However, I do think that there's something to be said for the ways that we also lie to ourselves. One of the things that creates great intimacy between people is the ability to be vulnerable. And in order to be vulnerable, you must have total acceptance. You must feel safe. Okay? And so, in order to do that, you have to accept all the things, say you're speaking of yourself, you have to accept all of the things about you that you see as your positive qualities, and, here's the caveat, also the negative ones. Now, what so often happens with people when they go about choosing to do positive affirmations or the law of attraction is that they ignore maybe an entire half of who they are and try to just deny it, resist it. So all those fears we have, we try to push them away and say, no, I don't want the fear. I want more abundance in my life. But the thing is if underneath all of those positive affirmations and visualizations, you still have those fears that you're denying even seeing, I firmly believe they are going to block your path to creating that abundance in your life. So, I think one of the gifts that we can give to ourselves is an honest assessment of how we truly feel about ourselves. Now, it doesn't have to be right. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be even shared with anyone else but yourself. But be honest with yourself. If you have a long list of things that you're afraid of and you've been pushing them away, remember good old Eckhart Tolle from Oprah? He would always say, what we resist persists. So if we're resisting our fears, we're resisting our insecurities, resisting even seeing them or facing them, it's very unlikely that they're going to go away and make room for great abundance in our lives. So here's what I suggest to make some headway. Sit down and write out a list of all of the things you're afraid of or the things that you feel about yourself that perhaps you think other people see you in a particular light. Write all those fears down. Write all those insecurities. Start from your childhood and work all the way up. Whatever it is, don't judge it, just write it and just see it. It is a huge first step to just do that. Okay? And then every day, I want you to take some time and really look at that list and say it out loud. You know, maybe you want to find a private space that you're not going to be interrupted. And I want you to really face it. Cry if you've got to. Do what you've got to do. But have the courage to face it. And you'll feel inside this sense of blocking. You'll feel it probably right in the center of your chest. You may feel this warm wash of shame over you because you feel these things. Don't judge it. Just go with it. It's part of the process. You're going to feel uncomfortable because you have tried to avoid dealing with these things, tried to avoid facing these things for a long time for a reason. And it's most likely because you feel ashamed. And I think the only way to actually remove that shame to a great extent is to face it head on and say, look, this is me. It's there. These are the things that are awesome, but hey, look, there's also a list of things I am freaked out about. And that's good, okay? And then when you get to the end of your list, all right, say you have 10 things on that list, Each day, rate your intensity for how you feel about those things on a range from 1 to 10. 10 being most intense, most uncomfortable, and 1 being least intense, least uncomfortable. And when you see that there are more days that are closer to 1s, you're going to be making serious progress on accepting yourself as a whole person. The second thing I'd like to challenge you to do is at the end of the list, when you're finished, and take your time with it, okay? At the end of the list, say to yourself, and I love and accept you as you are. So say if your list has, I feel rejected, I feel abandoned, I feel unworthy of love, I don't feel accepted, whatever it is. Now, at the end of that, you would say, and I love and accept you as you are. So that we remind ourselves that it is okay to feel all of those things and still be worthy of love and acceptance. We have to teach ourselves that because sometimes we forget it. Okay? And then I believe once you face those fears, by the simple act of stopping hiding them, stopping pushing them away, stopping resisting them, you incorporate them into yourself and become a whole person that you accept. And I think you'd be very surprised to find out that your life opens up and more intimacy is available, more vulnerability is available, and you start feeling safer and safer to be who you are. And in the end, that's what brings us close to people, authenticity. And then from there, move into positive affirmations you'd like in your life, visualizing how you'd like your life to be. That's wonderful. Do that. But don't forget to be honest with yourself about the fears. Okay? All right, that's all for tonight. Think about it. Write your comments. Tell me how you feel. And if anyone else has done this, I'd love to hear about it. Okay? And tell us all about how it has positively impacted your life. Okay, thank you. Have a great night. See you next time.